South Carolina. Hello, Wayne. You're on the Glenn Beck program.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate you taking the time out, sir.
Sure.
What I want to say to you is that I listened to your show for a long time, and I really feel like black people, hardworking, responsible Americans, are really conservative. They've been living that way for a long time, but it really has not been called conservatism. And if people like you will continue to do what you're doing, but only step it up a little bit and say the uncomfortable things and speak straight to them, you will see hardworking black Americans come into the conservative fold in mass numbers. Because right now, the Democrat Party, which most of us have followed for all our lives, it's immoral to our way of life, and it's not what we're about.
Okay,
but Republicans have ignored us for so long and felt like it was a waste of time that they never really stepped up to us and said anything to us straight and direct. When they do, it's kind of like pandering, and the Democratic Party does the same thing, but people need to say the uncomfortable things.
So
like
Wayne,
that's what black people relate to.
So tell me what the uncomfortable things are that need to be said.
I mean, when you start talking to people straight up and down and using the word black or African American and start talking to them about their religion and their economical situation and start talking to them about what's going on in their homes and what they want for their families, then you start talking about uncomfortable things. But you have to not be scared to frame it straight towards black people, because black people see themselves as outside of the mainstream. So you have to speak to them that way. And then they'll have respect for the fact that you spoke to them that way. And I know, sir, that you have the power to do it because you seem to be an open and true, honest person. That's what kept me listening to your show for all these years.
Well, thank you very much, Wayne. So what am I missing? What am I not saying? Give me an example of what you would like to hear me say.
Have written black people off, and, this is me saying this. I can understand why. A lot of us are politically lazy. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of hard-working, responsible black people that if you just talk to them, if you make it an issue, like I know you have these events all around the country. I know you know black people like Dr. Ben Carson. If you have those people step up and get on TV and say, look, I'm having something for black people. I want to talk about black history, which I know you have, and I know you talk to people about people like Martin Luther King. But you really have to dig into it and try to promote it as much as you can, because there's a lot of black people out here that's just basically in the wilderness, not being a part of anything because they feel like they have nothing to be a part of.
It's really hard for white people to make those proclamations, Wayne, because then they're labeled racist. They're shouted down.
I know it's uncomfortable.
Well, it's not necessarily uncomfortable. It's sometimes suicidal. I mean, look at
shouted down.
Look at what happens to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was shouted down. If you can shout down Bill Cosby, yeah, he is.
What? Yeah,
he's black.
How did that happen?
Isn't that something?
I don't know.
Corey Gardner banned birth control.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Another result?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wayne, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for calling. We will take your advice to heart, and if you have more advice, please call in. I'd love to hear. And anybody else that agrees with Wayne, call in. Tell us what he's saying, how we can help.
The Glenn Beck Program.